Welcome back. It is our final round of Swiss here at Psycho Turtle in Pico Rivera, California for our Gym Challenge League Cup. First one of Reg H, first one of the 2025 season. Which remember, that feeds into the Anaheim World Championships. Everybody here wants to go to that. Of course, I'm Dennis Geisler. Pikachu keeps looking further away from the camera. He's struggling. It's fine. We have our final round of Swiss, as I said, Brenden Moses and Junxi Zhu. Brenden with the... Sorry, the Dragonite Thunderwave Rapid really got me. Brendan's running the Dragonite, Volcarona, Tyranitar, Primarina, Excadrill, and Sinistcha. Junxi with the trademark Porygon 2, Amoonguss, Tyranitar, Golden Go, Incineroar, and Ursaluna. On Brendan's side, the Dragonite is notable. It's Life Orb. It's not Choice Band. It has Choice Band E items. It has moves. It has Extreme Speed, Outrage, and Ice Spinner alongside Protect. And it's Terra Normal, but it's Life Orb, so it isn't locked into its moves. Volcarona is Terra Dragon with Fiery Dance instead of other fire moves. It is still Quiver Dance, none of that supportive stuff. This is Sinistcha, which I am excited to see. Rage Powder, Machagacha, Trick Room, and Life Dew with a Rocky Helmet and Hospitality, of course. Also the Excadrill that we're seeing for the first time today. Tyranitar, Excadrill, a nice duo. And then on Junxi's side, the classic. It's Porygon 2, it's Amoonguss. This battle might last a really long time. We'll see. And we'll see. I'm going to be positive. We're going to be positive about this, guys. Again, this is the final round of Swiss. Both these players are at 4-1. I haven't said that yet. A win almost certainly floats them into top cut. A loss might still get them through, depending on resistance and such. The Sandstorm kicks up. We see Junxi leading with Tyranitar, Incineroar, Brenden with the Excadrill and the Dragonite. Remember, this Excadrill is Sand Rush, so it actually got to double its speed from Junxi's Tyranitar being out there. With how popular Tyranitar is, you're able to get that sometimes even without leading it yourself, and that is exactly what Brenden has done here. Takeout goes into Excadrill, though. It is Terra Ghost, but didn't decide to go for it there. Flinches. The Outrage comes out of the Dragonite. We'll see. Goes into the Incineroar. Does not pick up the knockout. Gets pretty close. That's the difference between Band and Life Orb. Band would have gotten it done. And the knockoff, a huge critical hit onto the Excadrill. That'll drop it. Not a one-hit knockout. I can't say to ring the bell. But regardless, huge knockout there for Junxi. And kind of a strange choice in turn number 1 to not Terra Ghost your Excadrill. I mean, it would have been knocked out by knockoff anyway. The critical hit obviously came in pretty significant there, but Excadrill would have at least been able to get a hit off. Potentially could have protected turn 1 as well, because in that case the Incineroar would have been able to be a little bit more dealt with. Could have extreme speeded out of it. In any case, we're gonna see the Terra on Brendan's side. Gonna be onto the Tyranitar, Terra Flying. This is the typical Assault Vest set. Terra Blast, Low Kick, Rock Slide, Knockoff. Dragonite goes for Outrage again, lands it onto the Incineroar, gets the critical hit. A little bit overkill, I'd say. And the Rock Slide onto the other Tyranitar. We'll see if it flinches. That's the biggest thing. Nope. Rock Slide the other direction will do a ton of damage, though. Does not knock out the Dragonite, but Sandstorm sure will. And there it goes. Tyranitar also take the chip now because of the Brastel. That's a tough thing about picking these Terras on Tyranitar, that you do lose the immunity to Sandstorm and the extra special defense that you get from it. So far, Junxi in a pretty solid spot. Got Brenden down to his final 2 Pokemon. Gonna be, Carming's Sinistcha specifically, I guess, coming in. And Amoonguss as well. Hospitality will heal up the Tyranitar on Brendan's side just a touch. But the big issue here is how to get these two Pokemon to deal with everything on Junxi's side. Still has one more Pokemon in the back as well that we have not seen yet. Rock Slide from Brendan's T-Tar. Seems to be faster. We'll have to keep an eye on that later. The knockoff into the Sinistcha just absolutely dumps it. Rocky Helmet does a bit of chip damage back, but that is Sinistcha going down in one hit. And Amoonguss went for the Spore as well into Tyranitar. That should certainly be the battle. Excellently played game number 1 from Junxi. A great job getting all the damage down from the Tyranitar that was needed. Not a whole lot of lot of damage dealt by anything else. I think it was like just a fake out from Incineroar from like that constituted all the other damage in the battle, as well as the terrain damage. Oh, Junxi won game 1. Sorry, technical. Now we can see. Now you see it updated on screen. So game number 2, Brenden. I like the lead in the last game for Brenden. It just losing the Excadrill on a critical hit is really tough. And I'd be concerned that you might miss out on certain buddy poppin'. You might miss out on getting that same value this game if Junxi decides to switch things up a little bit in game number 2 after such a dominant game number 1, but one that did have some luck reliance, and so might avoid being as predictable again. Game number 2. Round number 6, final round of Swiss. Both these players fighting for top cut, both at 4-1. Could be the cutoff. Incineroar Amoonguss on Junxi's side, now that's balance. And the same lead as last time. It's the Dragonite and the Excadrill. So the Excadrill does not get the Sand Rush boost because there's no sand up, obviously. Not a whole lot of damage is honestly being threatened right now from Junxi's side, but we know that doesn't necessarily mean a lot. Ooh, doggy barking. There's a couple animals here. We've got a veritable zoo here. It's also really hot, but you know what? We're playing Pokemon, and that's what's important. Protect from the Excadrill. Very smart choice. Incineroar did go for the fake out into that Excadrill slot. Not going to get anything out of it now. Outrage from the Dragonite. Goes into the Amoonguss. Not going to pick up the knockout. Going to do some good damage. Gets the Rocky Helmet and Life Orb chip in return. Will Amoonguss go for the Spore into the Dragonite? Yes, it does. How does this work when you're locked into Outrage? Oh, you get unlocked from Outrage. That's actually a neat feature. I did not know about that. In any case, Amoonguss and Incineroar are both on fairly low HP at this point. Well, not fair. Amoonguss is on low HP, and Incineroar is kind of vulnerable to an Earthquake. Like, just Excadrill going for a straight-up Earthquake could do a lot to both of these, but whether it'll pick up the knockout is a good question. Is the big question of this battle. Amoonguss is just going to switch out, going to get that Regenerator HP back. Ursaluna comes in. Earthquake out of the Excadrill. Let's see what it does to the Incineroar, and the Ursaluna for that matter. Good damage to both. well, not great damage to Ursaluna, but good damage to the Incineroar for sure. Incineroar parting shot out on the Dragonite. Might force Dragonite to switch out, but that's not the biggest deal in the world, and with the pivot out, you can pivot back in the Amoonguss if you'd like, if you're Junxi. And that's playing balance for you. Yep, there's the Amoonguss. And there it is. Ursaluna will get burned. It actually has a pretty good opportunity to start laying down some hurt. Amoonguss does have the redirection. It is also Terra Psychic. I feel like I should mention that the Amoonguss is Terra Psychic because it's kind of interesting. I was talking earlier about Terra Psychic Tyranitar. We'll get back into this conversation later. High horsepower into the Ursaluna. Does some good damage, no switch outs. Ursaluna goes for the Facade into the Dragonite. That's going to pick up the KO, especially with the critical hit. And we'll see what the Amoonguss goes for. A Pollen Puff could be nice. It's just going to Spore into the Excadrill, which is also pretty good. Excadrill will not get to move next turn. This could be an opportunity to Pollen Puff into Ursaluna this upcoming turn. We'll see what the choice is. It's going to be Tyranitar coming in here. The T-Tar Excadrill combo that we are all so familiar with. I'm familiar with it. We're all familiar with it. Ursaluna is on fairly low HP. I'd be curious to... This is a very critical turn for this matchup. Excadrill can't really do anything. Well, Excadrill can't do anything, period. It does not have a move. It will be in its sleep turn. Ursaluna could knock out Tyranitar, depending. But we'll just switch out. Junxi's going to not push the issue, just switch that out. Bring in the Incineroar to drop the attack stat on the Tyranitar this turn. Of course, the Clear Amulet and the Excadrill means it's fine. And we'll actually read out the Terra choice on the Tyranitar. Terra Flying on Tyranitar. Excadrill obviously not going to do anything this turn. The Rock Slide lands onto the Incineroar, knocks it out on the switch in. Also onto the Amoonguss. Will it flinch? No, it does not, and it gets the Spore off. So now it's just the Excadrill next turn that could wake up. Doesn't have a great chance to, but it could wake up. And we'll see what switches in on Junxi's side. It's gonna be Ursaluna coming back in. Might end up just being a hope that guy's still sleeping move. For Junxi, where if Excadrill takes this sleep turn, you get a Pollen Puff down onto the Amoonguss. Ooh, Amoonguss going for the Rage Powder. Not what I would have liked to see. The Excadrill has a perfect opportunity to use Earthquake here. And it doesn't matter, Excadrill's asleep. So is Tyranitar. You can see Brenden. Unfortunate. And that is absolutely going to knock out the Excadrill. There it goes. One hit, knockout, ring the bell. Excadrill has not gotten much done this set. And now T-Tar could be asleep next turn, could not be, as the final Pokemon will switch in for Brenden. And it is that Volcarona, which unfortunately can't really feel comfortable getting a Quiver Dance off here because it might get spored if it does. Another opportunity for Junxi to potentially try to go for a Pollen Puff onto the Ursaluna, or just go for extra damage or whatever else. Volcarona will go for the Protect. Amoonguss goes for another Rage Powder, trying to redirect. Tyranitar does wake up. Rock Slide. Misses. Ursaluna hits the Amoonguss, but that's not who you're trying to hit. And the Facade into the Tyranitar. Ah, it's going to pick up the knockout, that's for sure. Real unfortunate for Brenden there. Getting the wake up, but not landing the Rock Slide onto the Ursaluna. I'm not sure if it would have helped, but it sure wouldn't have hurt. Now Volcarona with that leftovers with Quiver Dance is the only thing really left on this field. It is Fiery Dance. Could try to... yeah, no, there's no way out of this. If you use Fiery Dance... If you hit Ursaluna with Fiery Dance, then Amoonguss spores you. If you hit Amoonguss with Fiery Dance, then Ursaluna knocks you out with Facade. Or Amoonguss just redirects. Fiery Dance lands into Amoonguss. We'll see if it gets a special attack increase. It's a critical hit. It does get the special attack increase. That might be the end of this battle. As the Ursaluna goes for the Facade. And the critical hit will close this one out. Junxi with the 2-0 victory. Clean. got a couple of splashes of luck in there, but certainly a clean set from Junxi. He'll be heading to Top Cut. We'll see him later on. And Brenden will have to wait on the Resistance to try to get out of this one. That is it for our Swiss rounds. We are going to take a quick break, tabulate the results a little bit, and we will be back for Top Cut. You don't want to miss it. So many good players. It's really going to be a crazy time. Don't go anywhere.